Welcome back to Extraordinary Women on thatchannel.com. I'm your host, Shannon Skinner, and I'm joined by feng shui expert Tila Silverio, who's here to talk about how you can use feng shui to improve your relationship. And later in the segment, before we take a break, I'll have my regular Good to Know Minute when I ask my guests for their top tip on creating a successful life. You are going to hear Tila's. Tila, thank you for being here today.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
That's
I'm
fantastic.
Delighted to be here.
Well, feng shui is a mystery to many, and it's certainly a mystery to me.
Mm-hmm. It is, and we need to take that woo-woo stuff around it because it is very scientific. It is what I say, the quantum physics of 5,000 years ago, and the Chinese were very clever and just observing how energies affected them, affected their lives, affecting everything that they did. And we just starting to understand that in the Western world because it is all about energy after all, and that's what feng shui is about.
It's about energy. You said quantum physics.
Yes.
Quantum physics explains feng shui.
Absolutely.
But of course, the ancient Chinese did not have quantum physics
no.
in their vocabulary.
No.
5,000 years ago.
That's right. And they call it feng shui because that's the way they understood it. Feng shui translates into water and wind. And it
translates into water and
wind. And the way they understand it is that this energy is transported through water and wind to everything that exists. So they didn't know what they were talking about per se. Now quantum physics explains that much more in depth, and absolutely everything in this world has energy. And when you think about it, everything in your environment is vibrating, regardless of small or big or solid it looks to us. It's still vibrating. It still has a frequency to it. And we have a frequency as well. So everything that you have, it's either vibrating with you or against you. And you need to get used to that idea that there are some things in your home that are beneficial to you and some things that are not so good for you.
Now, feng shui is the art of placement. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
And that you can't really escape it, that you're placing things, whether it be in your house or in your office or a watch on your wrist or a necklace around your neck or your clothes. You're placing an object somewhere at some point always. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll go back to the Chinese farmers again. I mean, they decided that the crops in the south it did so much better than in the north and the east and so forth, and they brought that knowledge into the home. And yes, a plant does so much better in the southeast than it does per se in the southwest and so forth. So they explain these and how it affects us, how these particular placements affects us and affects different aspects of our lives. And it's a matter of understanding it and manipulating it, really, in order to to improve our lives.
Now, what sparked your interest and led you to feng shui? I know that you haven't been an expert doing it all of your life. You did do something prior to this.
Yeah, I was in the corporate world before.
You were in the corporate world.
And the corporate world didn't want me anymore. And this was over 10 years ago. And one thing that I say to everyone, feng shui comes to you when you need it the most. And at that point, my life was falling apart. Every aspect of it, going through a bad marriage, being let go at work, illness, you name it. And someone gave me the book, the feng shui book. And I got hooked. I understood it. It clicked. I got it. I started playing with it. I started practicing on my friends. And it mushroomed from there. I started taking courses, interest. All of a sudden, I have a certificate. Let's give it a try. And it all started from there. And life is so much different.
What did your friends think when you started?
Oh, well, there goes Tila again.
No, what kind of... actually, we'll talk about tools a bit later, but I know that you're here to talk about the ways that one can use feng shui to improve their relationships. And initially we talked about coming on the show about using feng shui to create more success, but as we talked, we discovered that, and as you had mentioned, that it really starts with, for women particularly, it really starts with our relationships first.
Absolutely.
So what would be the biggest way, the top way that women can use, or people in general can use feng shui to improve their relationships?
Absolutely. As I go through people's homes, one thing that I notice the most is that the bedroom, the principal bedroom, is the last one to either be decorated or it's, everything ends up in the bedroom, especially if there's young kids, there's toys, there's laundry, there's everything ends up in that bedroom. And if we want to continue in a healthy and strong relationship, we have to really understand that the bedroom is the core of a relationship, the core of a marriage. And if that bedroom is suited for tranquility and peace and passion and intimacy, then that's what you're getting in your relationship. Feng Shui is about living what you want to create. So if you want a strong relationship, you create that in your bedroom and make sure that it's balanced. You've got the 2 tables, the 2 lamps, the 2 candles, the 2 little hearts, pictures of 2, no pictures of kids in the bedrooms, please, and not pictures of 3 people, right? So you create that environment. So when you first came into that bedroom, you feel it. You feel what you want in your relationship. And it's about feeling it. And Feng Shui brings that. When you place things correctly in a bedroom in particular, your relationship gets stronger. You become more intimate, and there's more communication, which is one thing that a lot of couples start missing a lot as they get older, and and with the kids and all that. So it's very important.
What kind of things would you suggest to your clients to put in their bedroom, decorate?
One thing that I ask my clients is to stand at the door and observe what kind of feeling does that bedroom give you. And most of them is like, oh my God, it's just a place to sleep. Well, is that what your relation is? Just to have someone there. So what I suggest, jazz it up. Bring it up a notch. Bring some passion colors in there. Red is always very good, just a little. Not, don't go and paint all the walls red because it's very vibrant and can turn the other way. But a little red, candles, bring the mood. Bring the mood into the bedroom and make sure it's balanced. It's very important that you have a balance of 2 things in that bedroom that represents the couple.
So the 2 things would represent the couple. So have,
well, the night tables, 2
right,
night tables, 2 lamps, pictures of the 2 of you, 2 candles, 2 birds, whatever it is. You need to avoid things that a 3 set of candles, for example. You need to avoid mirrors in the bedroom.
Yes, mirrors is a big thing.
It's a huge.
I had a feng shui expert had once told me that she once had mirrors in her bedroom, and she would break the mirrors, not physically break them, but she would move the doors and slide them so that the reflection was broken. So that she was single at the time and didn't want to be single any longer, and was realizing that she was seeing her image reflected back to her as a single woman.
Absolutely.
And she was tired of being single. So she would actually move the doors around or block them. And when she travels, she blocks mirrors now in the bedrooms, wherever she is, because she didn't want to be single any longer because of this reflection.
Smart cookie. Yeah, absolutely. But not just because of that. Mirrors deflect the way energy flows into a room. So if you can understand how water flows, for example, the energy flows the same way. And when it hits a mirror, it reflects out. It goes out. So it deflects the nice flow. And you are sleeping. Your body is at its vulnerable point ever. And if you have this energy goes bang back and forward into a mirror, it's banging on you as well. So you're not resting. So it is a health issue as well when you have a mirror in your bedroom. And yes, you don't want to look at the mirror when you first get up in the morning because it's not your best, and you don't want to look at yourself before you go to bed because you're very tired as well. So you go into sleep with that image of yourself, which is not appealing, and it's not what you want yourself to be. You always want to see yourself at your best. So the best mirror, it's by the entrance. As you go out, you've got your makeup, your hair is done, you've got your coat and etc., and you look your best.
So getting up and looking at yourself with bedhead first thing in the morning,
not
filing
a good
that
thing.
into your unconscious is probably not a great way to start the day.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Now, we're going to talk more about this after the break, and but before we break, I have my regular Good to Know Minute where I ask my guests for their top tip on creating a successful life, and I know that you have a top tip for our viewers.
Yes, I do, and my advice is connect with your environment. It is so important that you understand that absolutely everything in your home is affecting you either positively or negatively. And you really need to ask that question. Why do I have this in my home?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks.
We'll take a break and we'll be back. Welcome back to Extraordinary Women on thatchannel.com. I'm Shannon Skinner, and I'm here speaking with Tila Silverio, a feng shui expert, and we're talking about how you can use feng shui to improve your relationships and create a successful relationship. And we talked a bit about one for the break. Take a close look at your bedroom, which is important. And what would be another one?
The other one is to identify where your southwest corner of your home is. That's very important because it is the relationship corner of your house.
And the southwest corner is the relationship corner of your house.
Absolutely. And make sure that you don't have piles of newspapers in there or a garbage pail in there or something that could be classified as a negative energy in there, that it's clutter free, the best thing is to have 2 little chairs in there waiting for a relationship, or to have 2 pots or 2 candles or something like that, so you're calling that union of a relationship into yourself. So it's another besides your bedroom, it's a very important area in your home to identify.
So I'm noticing the number 2 theme.
Yes, absolutely.
So the southwest corner of your home is your relationship corner. And I know that you have another way, one more tip on how people can use feng shui to improve their relationships.
The other way would be your front entrance as well. Your front entrance it's the beginning of everything. If you want a healthy, good relationship, think of your entrance. When you first come in, what is it that you see? Do you see a pile of shoes on the floor and rack of coats, piles of mail, or do you see a beautiful foyer inviting with a bouquet of fresh flowers and a nice chandelier and a very bright, wonderful rug on the floor? Are you inviting good people into your life? That's very important because that's how it starts. You inviting that energy into your home. So start there. Start addressing how do I feel when I come in? How would someone else feel as they come in and I welcome them into my home?
So having a pile of boots and shoes at your front entrance is probably not such a good idea.
No, it's the Canadian way, I know, but no, it's not. It's not. So we'll go. And my clients always, they laugh at me, it's Canada and it's winter. but you need to really eliminate as much as you possibly can of that clutter right at the front door.
I understand putting a figure of Buddha when you first walk in is supposed to be a good idea.
It is, because the Buddha is the symbol of prosperity. And, as soon as you come in, you see that laughing face, that smiling face. He puts you in a mood, and you know that he's doing its thing. And it wears out negativity as well. So you know that negative people tend not to come to your home when you have a Buddha at the front door, which is very good.
Now, the process, I'm fascinated, when you go to a client's home, what is the process you go through? I mean, I know that here you've brought in a compass. Explain too how you use this, or what the meaning is.
Right. This is actually called a low pen. It's a low pen, and it's a compass, and it tells you. It's a compass that incorporates a lot of knowledge into it, such as your zodiac. What's your zodiac, and where your door should be according to your zodiac. Is it a good door? According to your number in feng shui, is it good? Where your bedroom is, where your kitchen is, where your bathrooms are, very important. And it tells you if this is a good thing, if it's about wealth. Is it about a reason you come here? Is it about is it a bad choice to have your interest this way or that way? So there's a lot of information that you can get from a low pen.
Now, we talked a bit earlier about the connection between in relationships and business. I know that you mentioned that there are many people that actually look to feng shui to improve their business, and I've heard stories from Walt Disney to Hollywood executives really embracing feng shui for their businesses. But you'd mentioned that in particular for women, to have a successful business, it really starts with successful relationships.
Absolutely.
And why is that?
Well, because it is the beginning, it is the core. If your relationships are in place, and it's to the understanding that what is success? Success is having all aspects of your life in balance and in harmony. And if you have a good relationship, then everything falls together, everything falls in place. And I have actually a case of a client of mine that that called me in, and the reason that she called me in was because they had a family business, and the family business was not doing so well, and had been in a family for about 20 years, and was very close to being closed down and bankruptcy and all that. And she wanted me to go to the office, but men are not really open so much to feng shui, so we chose to go to the home. And she had a beautiful home, beautifully decorated home, and I went to the master bedroom, or I should call it the principal bedroom.
You don't like the term master bedroom, do you?
I do not.
You call it a principal bedroom.
Yes. And it's like, why should it be a master bedroom? It's two people there, right? And so I like to call it the principal bedroom. And you have to imagine, this was a $3 million home, beautifully decorating. The kids, there are two kids with murals painted on the walls. Everything was in place. And then you go to the principal bedroom, and it was a disaster. It was like everything ended up there that they didn't know what to do with it. Piles of laundry, toys everywhere. Even the hinges of some of the drawers were broken. The jacuzzi had this huge hole because one of the kids had thrown something to it and broke it. And I remember turning to this lady and said, this looks like a broken marriage here. And indeed, she started crying, and she said, yeah, that's exactly what's happening. We're not talking to each other. Everything seems to be falling apart. And I realized at that point that was the reason why I was there. And it just happened that their bedroom was located in the money area of the house. So because that bedroom was in such a chaos, it was affecting their relationship, it was affecting the business and their finances. And I said to her, you fix this room, you fix all three things. And indeed, she did. I mean, she was a trooper. They cleaned it up, they replaced furniture. They're very happy together. They've been traveling every 3 months. They go on vacation and take a little, just for the two of them. And the business is expanding to another building. So this stuff works. And you have to connect. Again, as I said before, you really have to connect with your environment. If something is not happening in your life, or something, it just doesn't make sense, look at your environment. See what's happening in perhaps a room in your house, and then clear it up. Fix it. Do something. Shift things around and see what happens.
Now, you have something coming up called the Prosperity Series. This is a new seminar series?
Yeah, actually, it's the second time. I had it, I launched it last winter, and it's a series of workshops which are catered just for one aspect in your life. So you have 3 hours that we talked about how to improve your relationship or attract a relationship. Other one will be how to make money. Other one will be how to communicate with the kids. Other one, always using feng shui principles, of course. So there's a series about 7 different aspects that are within these series. You can take all of them or just the ones that are of interest to you, and you get a lot of information.
And is it in the Toronto area only, or can people outside Toronto?
It's GTA. It's
GTA?
Yeah, Toronto area.
Now, what is your URL where people can find out more information about you? And
fengshuiinspired.com.
fengshuiinspired.com.
Mm-hmm.
We have a few more minutes, and one of the things I did want to talk about was something that fascinates me is how color impacts our life, from what we're wearing to our environment.
Absolutely.
And my understanding is through feng shui you determine what someone's number is.
Yes.
And you can tell them by their number what color of clothes to wear that's good for their energy or drains their energy.
Absolutely. And I do a lot of business, and I help them choose the best colors, especially guys. If at least you wear that red tie when you meet a prospect client, you right ahead. But just by finding out what someone is by that number, I can advise them on direction, where to sit, how to present, which best direction to present, what colors to wear. Numbers are very important, and colors are very important. And it's not just about how to wear them, but in your home, of course. And when you think about how you decorate your home, your walls are the biggest surface you have in your home, and you get the biggest impact. Now think about if you have a color in there that it's against your vibration, that it's just, it doesn't go with you. You come home and you're really irritable all the time. It's like you almost want to pick a fight. It's that color on the wall that is really affecting you and not you. So you have to be careful. When you look at a red color, it's a very different feeling that you get from a blue color. So you have to think about what colors do for you. And often people are a bit scared about color on their walls. And color can give a bright, sunny smile. It can turn things around. In proportion, of course, and go for the bright colors, bright future, bright colors. That's what I say.
Go for bright colors, bright future, bright colors.
Absolutely.
Well, Tila, our time is up, and it's been such a pleasure having you on the show. So thank you so much for coming and sharing some of your wisdom. Well, for more information about upcoming shows or to contact me, please visit the website at extraordinarywomentv.com. A special thanks to my family and friends for your ongoing support, and to the folks at that channel. And, well, if you are interested in transforming your life, I hope these stories have inspired you. You've been watching Extraordinary Women on thatchannel.com. I'm Shannon Skinner. See you soon.